Hey there, this is Cullahale Benz from Destination Thrills, and I'm here with a Kennywood 2019 speculation video. If you haven't been paying attention, Kennywood has started a huge teaser campaign to promote a Project 412, which is expected to be their new attraction coming in the 2019 season. If you remember, Logjammer was announced that it was being removed back in 2017, and now that that ride has officially been removed, there has been major construction happening on site. Most of that land is already cleared and footers are being placed. There are even footers being spotted in the lagoon, which is near this site as well. Now, Kennywood for a while has been rumored to be getting a new roller coaster. I remember back in late 2016 and 2017 seeing pictures on sources like Screamscape and other websites showing that permits were filed to build a new roller coaster. And there was even a potential layout that was leaked of what looked to be like a wooden-like roller coaster. And for a while, the rumor was that RMC was building a ground-up Woody for Kennywood, and that part of the roller coaster would go off into the ravine that's in the area. 2017 and 2018 has now arrived, and we didn't get that coaster that we were expecting. A lot of people thought this was a 2018 project, but late in 2017, when we had no rumors or no teasers happening, many believe that this project was either canceled or pushed off to the 2019 season. At the end of 2017, we had an interesting announcement when Kennywood decided to remove the Logjammer site, and many knew that this was probably preparing the way for Kennywood's next big roller coaster. And if you can remember, the removal of Logjammer was very controversial. Many people love the ride. It's a very historic ride at the park, and a lot of people have really enjoyed Logjammer over the years, and so it wouldn't make sense for Kennywood to take out such a loved attraction unless they were going to replace it with something huge. So like I said, RMC was definitely rumored to be part of the project, but then late 2017 and early 2018, many people were starting to report some inside sources mentioning that RMC was no longer involved with the project. Now, we personally have not spoken to these sources, so we don't know how valid this information is, but it seems to be the running theory that something happened with Kennywood's plans that caused this big delay from the ride opening, and that they may have had to change some of their plans. Either the ravine idea wasn't going to be able to work, or some planning along the way ended up being canceled. So now we're here in the 2018 season, and after Logjammer was removed and the clearing has happened, we saw a Instagram post, I believe it was in May, saying that that something big was coming to Kennywood in 2019. This sort of sparked a lot of the old rumors that indeed Kennywood would be getting a new roller coaster very soon. Then in the beginning of June, Kennywood kicked off a official teaser campaign for this project called Project 412. And it is a ride details scratch-off ticket that's labeled top secret, and in the top right you can see it says coming 2019, and it has 9 squares that are going to be scratched off. Now Kennywood, when they first released this scratch-off ticket, they said that they would release numbers every Thursday. I'm telling you right now, it is June 29th, Friday, and they have released more numbers than we thought at this point. It wasn't just Thursday that they released them. They also released some on Friday, and then the last 3 days in a row now, a number has been released. So we have this really cool teaser campaign that has started for this attraction. So we're going to break down the numbers that have been released, and then we're going to go to a discussion on what we think this coaster could be. So the first number that was released on the scratch-off ticket was the number 197. When this was first released, a lot of people jumped straight to the fact that this could be the ride height or the drop height on the coaster. So that was the first thing that everyone jumped to. Then a week later, the number 3 was released, and a lot of people said this could be either the number of trains on the coaster, it could be the number of launches on the coaster, or it could be the number of inversions. Then the next week, another number was released, and it was the number 24. And this seemed to trip up a lot of people, but the most popular speculation was that this could mean the number of riders per train. So a lot of people were speculating this could be the ride capacity either per train, number of guests per train, or number of guests total out of all 3 trains. Then we had a surprise the next day. They were celebrating, and as you probably can read in the post, they were celebrating Kennywood being announced as being the number 3 coaster on USA Today's Best 10 poll of Best 10 roller coasters. Phantom's Revenge got the number 3 spot. And so to celebrate, they released another number, and that number was 220. And this really sparked a lot of speculation that maybe this coaster would dip into the lagoon and that maybe the 197 is the height, but 220 would be the total length of the drop. Other speculations with the 220 number was that this could also be the ride duration, so 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So on Wednesday, Kennywood did another surprise and released a number. It said, to get you through Happy Hump Day, to get you through the week, here is another ride detail reveal on our scratch-off ticket. And it revealed the number 120. A lot of people said that this could also be the duration of the coaster, so 1 minute and 20 seconds. Others have speculated that it could be the height of one of the drops, so maybe the second drop, especially if this is a dive coaster. Would this be the height of the second drop? Others have said this could be the height of the first inversion on the coaster. Then yesterday, which was a Thursday, they released another scratch-off spot, and it revealed the number 75. And this seemed to confirm our theory of the height being 197. If you look at other rides that have that 197 height, they usually top out at a 75 mile per hour speed. So we believe that this number 75 is in relation to the speed of the coaster, the top speed. So then today is Friday, and I was going to release this video with the numbers that we had, but then Kennywood did an unexpected move and released another number. When they released this number on the Facebook post originally, it said, "You may have noticed we've kicked the Project 412 reveals into overdrive. Plans are always subject to change in the fast-paced amusement industry. So we keep on scratching and look forward to hearing theories from you, Gumshoe." Play off the fact that they had original plans maybe to work with RMC, or maybe to have a coaster diving through the lagoon, or maybe even a wooden coaster, and that those plans didn't work out, and with the fast-paced nature of the amusement industry, they had to change their plans and do something different. And I think this little post seems to reference that change in plans that Kennywood had to do. So the number that was released with this post today was the number 9. And this one, I'll say, personally has me a little bit tripped up because I haven't really been able to identify what I think the 9 could mean. Some people have said this is the number of airtime moments. Others have speculated that this could be the number of inversions. So some really interesting information released here. And that, as of today, these are the numbers that we have, these 7 scratch-off numbers, which are supposed to be the ride details. So what could all of these numbers mean, and what is Kennywood likely to get in 2019? My first guess at the moment, and the one that I seem to be sticking with, is that Kennywood will be getting a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster in 2019. And I think the stats that are related to that have been released so far, I think the height of the drop is going to be the 197 that was released originally. I think the duration of the coaster is going to be what that 220 is. I think it's going to be a 2 minute and 20-second ride. A lot of these stats I'm trying to compare to coasters like Carnan out in Hansa Park and Cannibal, even though that is not a Gerschlauer Infinity coaster. It has a style that's very similar to other Infinity coasters out there. And so some of the stats that have been, or some of the numbers that have been released in this Ride Scratcher sort of mirror some of the stats that Cannibal had. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds could be, and what I am speculating is the ride duration. Now the number 3 I believe is related to the number of inversions on the ride, and I believe that the number 24 is in reference to the price tag on this coaster. I know Gerschlauers tend to be a little bit more on the cheaper end, but I think this could have major theming with it, and it could also feature something like maybe an elevator lift or something really cool in nature that could give it a $24 million price tag. So that's what I think the number 24 is related to. The number 120, I believe, is related to the degree of the angle of the first drop. So I believe the first drop's angle is going to be 120 degrees. This makes it very similar to rides like Takashiba, which is a Gerschlauer Infinity, and also Cannibal, which, like I said, is not a Gerschlauer, but a ride that I think this coaster is going to sort of mimic a bit. Finally, we have the last two numbers. I think 75 is going to be the miles per hour. I think that one is the most obvious number revealed on the scratch-off ticket. And I think the number 9, the hardest one in my opinion, as of right now, I think 9 is going to be related to the number of elements on the ride. This one's more of a stretch for me because I really don't know what the 9 could mean, but I think it's either going to tie into the theme. It's either going to mean maybe the amount of times that this ride crosses over itself. Maybe if it's a highly themed attraction, maybe it's going to have 9 different tunnels. So those are all the ideas I have, but right now I'm sticking with 9 main elements on the ride. But those other ones I mentioned could be a possibility as well. So that's what I think is coming to Kennywood in 2019. I think it's going to be a highly themed, major Gerschlauer Infinity coaster. I think we're looking at something along the lines of Carnan or Cannibal at Lagoon as far as the ride style. Other possibilities that could happen as well is one of the newer generation Vekoma models. If you think of Lech Coaster out in Poland, I think this ride could be a bigger version of that. I don't think that's as likely as the Gerschlauer idea that I have, but this is definitely a secondary backup plan that I think could be happening. So my backup speculation would be that this is a Vekoma second generation, and I think that if that's the case, then I think 24 could be related to the train capacity, so how many riders per train, and I think 9 could actually mean airtime moments if that is the case. And some of the other stats I mentioned I think would mimic then the ideas that I had for Gerschlauer. And then I also believe that the 120 may have something to do, because it wouldn't be the angle of drop, but I think 120 could be the height of the first inversion if this is a Vekoma model. The only other thing I thought of too was that it could possibly be an RMC T-Rex. I know that during the ACE event they said, kind of in a funny way on a slide, the park when they were presenting to the ACE members, it said our next coaster will not be, or something along those lines, and it had a picture of a T-Rex, a picture of a Raptor, and a picture of a hybrid. And so it seemed to me making fun of, like, we're not getting these models of RMC. But as you notice, that one post said that, you know, plans are always subject to change. So my thinking is maybe they changed their mind and they did get a T-Rex or a Raptor model coaster. That could definitely be a possibility as well, though I think that's less likely in this stage of the game. So let us know what you think Kennywood is getting in 2019. What is Project 412? definitely leave some comments at the bottom of this video, like and subscribe, and let us know not only what you think of this speculation, but what you are speculating is coming to Kennywood in 2019. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.